Today we're going to be looking at teams you guys have to try out in FC25. We're going to be looking at cheap teams, mid-range teams, and absolute god squads. I'm going to also be building my own team that I want to achieve by the time the first Champs Weekend League is out. So without further ado, let me stop talking. Let's get into some of these teams. Let me know what you think of the teams in the comments as well below. Give them a rating out of 10. Let's get into the very first team. So on the screen here, we actually have quite a good cheap starter team. This is not looking like it's going to be too expensive. I mean, I feel like the likes of Copy Maiden might be a fairly pricey because of Evo's obviously having the chance of upgrading him. Timber's going to be a very good starting centre-back. Pickford's fairly good. I mean, a good keeper to have for the Premier League. But the rest of them, I feel like, shouldn't cost too many coins. Not bad options at all. And that's a really good starting Premier League team. I mean, price-wise, probably looking at like 50k maybe to 70k, depending if some of these cards obviously are expensive and also what Evos are actually out. But that is not a bad starter team for you guys that you could run at the start of FC25. This next team's definitely on the more expensive side, but once again, very good. It's probably just a bit more advanced in terms of like the players that are being used. So he's got Nico Williams in there, who definitely won't be cheap. Isaac's looking really good this year. He won't be cheap. Alvarez should be a decent card. Tonali, like I said, it was in my team. Looking good. Udogi, Van der Ven as well. That's a really good centre-back to have at the start of the game. Once again, left-footed. And then, yeah, I mean, you got Araujo, Koundé. Koundé's never cheap at the start of the game. Neither will be Araujo. Chiesa in there as well. Obviously, Premier League now as well. That is a very nice team, but definitely looking more probably towards the 100 to 300,000 coin range. Here we actually have a very interesting starter team. So obviously, looking at this team, it's looking fairly cheap bar what you'd see in Osimhen. But obviously now Osimhen being in the Turkish league is definitely going to bring his value down from what it would have been if he was still in the Serie A or obviously moved to the likes of Chelsea. So this actually could be a really good starting team. I mean, Davinson Sanchez is always solid at the start of the game. Inacio's always very solid. Them fullbacks are really good. Diogo Costa should be solid in goal. The midfield is looking fairly good. A little bit small on the small side. I feel like you might need a bit more height and strength in there. And then the front three, like I said, it's going to be interesting to see the likes of Osimhen. What is his price going to be now he's actually gone to the Turkish league? Will he be a lot cheaper? I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Galeno's always good near the start of the game. Rapid, fast. Yilmaz, not too sure on his card, but yeah, I mean, that's once again a very nice looking team. Once again, we have another Premier League starter team. We've got Kobe in there alongside Tonali. I'm liking it. Van der Ven, Lacroix. Obviously, Lacroix coming across from the Bundesliga to the Premier League now. Obviously, always rapid at the start of the game, so that would be interesting. It'd be interesting to see what his value will be at the start of the game, whether it will be quite high because he's in the Premier League. Then Luis Diaz is not going to be cheap in my opinion. Nunes, I don't know if it'll be that expensive. Obviously, once again, some of these cards can be Evo dependent. If there's a really good Evo at the start that some of these cards can fit in, obviously the prices will go up even more. Then the defense is solid. Kadioglu, I didn't even realize, can actually play right back and left back, which probably will put his value up a little bit more. Udogi, like I said, looking like one of the best starting left backs you can get in this game. Vicario, good keeper option as well. And Kunku, obviously with a -2 downgrade because he was injured all last year, but should still be very solid with the 5-star skills in there as well. And then one more team we're going to check out for now. This is another very nice looking starter squad. Very different. The one player that I'm not the biggest fan of is Polina with the 52 pace. But like we keep saying, it's the start of the game. You can get away with using obviously the slower players because they're not, you know, you're not playing with all 99 pace cards or 90 plus pace cards at this stage of the game. However, Gyökeres is looking like a ridiculous card. This guy could be used quite a lot. 91 physical, 90 pace, 83 shooting with 84 rating. He is looking insane. Already started the season off very well, so he's got the chance of getting some very high rated special cards with informs, etc. Pedro Neto, not a bad option. I think there'll definitely be an Evo or two available for him at some stage of the game. We've got Nuno Mendes there. You've got Elise, obviously moving to the Bundesliga as well. Diallo is one of them pacey starting centre-backs. Like I said, Inacio. Bowie, obviously a new right back as well for Bayern Munich. Then you've got João Neves in there, now moved to PSG. That's actually a really nice card. I don't think it'll be too expensive. I don't know how much the likes of Gyökeres will be. I don't think it'll cost too much just because he's Swedish and in the Liga NOS, so obviously it's hard to link him, but that there is a very nice starting team. I like the look of it. Now let me show you the team I want to try and achieve by the first Champs of FC25. So kicking off with the goalkeeper, I want to start off with in my team for the first Champs Weekend League. I'm going to go for one of the more expensive ones that I think is going to be more expensive because I'm going to put a fair few FC25 points on, and that is Edison. As you can see, also is supposedly getting the long ball ball plus playstyle. So if you guys didn't know, this year, EA are actually adding playstyle pluses to goalkeepers. So we've actually got brand new goalkeeper playstyles, and also goalkeepers can now get current playstyles on their cards. Like I said, Edison with that long ball plus. Now on to my right back of choice. So I'm going to go meta once again. Obviously, we don't really know the exact meta of FC 25 as of yet, as the game hasn't even come out. But for my right back, I have decided to go for Marcus Llorente. This guy is always absolutely insane at the start of the game. Also, if we get a nice early Evo where he can actually be upgraded, he will be even more ridiculous. I mean, he's got great pace though. Obviously, his defense is not that very high, but you can chuck a shadow on him or something like that. He's got decent physical and good overall stats. Obviously, you could play this guy centre mid as well. Obviously, he'd be very good there. But for me, I think at right back, he could be very solid. He definitely was last year at the start of the game anyways. Centre back number one is definitely going to be coming down to whether I get decent pack luck and a good coin return from the packs I open. But this guy has had a crazy upgrade. I think a +4 on his overall rating, and also comes in along with an anticipate plus playstyle. And if you didn't know who that is already, it is William Saliba. I mean, look at his card. 87 rating, 82 pace, 87 defending, and 83 physical with the base of the anticipate plus. He looks ridiculous this year. Let's be real though, he's going to be extremely expensive. So that's why I said it's going to come down to pack luck. Like if I don't have very good pack luck, or maybe you could even pack him, that would be nice. But if you don't have very good pack luck and you don't make many coins, you're probably not going to be able to get this card because he is going to be very expensive. I'm talking Van Dijk prices, definitely, like the start of FC 24. To join him at centre-back, though, I've decided to go for a left-footed centre-back. I quite like the left foot, right foot dynamic in my defenders, especially near the start of games when I'm not really sure what's kind of good. So joining him at left centre back, I've gone for Guardiola. Obviously, he can play left back as well. If you didn't know, he can start left back in game. But I think his card is looking quite solid, especially for the start of the game. Maybe I should probably spend a few more coins to get maybe something a little bit better if I'm already spending so much on Saliba. But also, he doesn't look bad. I mean, especially, like I said, at the start of the game, if they drop any Evos, like defensive Evos, he'll be really, really good as well to put in there. But 79 pace, 83 defending, 83 physical. Chuck a shadow on him again, and you're getting, obviously, the increase in the defense and even more pace for him as well. So then to complete our defense, obviously, at left back, I've gone for someone that's now also had a +5 rating on his base card, and it actually looks like probably one of the best left backs at the start of this game, especially Premier League wise as well. Let me show you who that is now. It is Destiny Udogie. Look at this card. So he's had a +5 rating overall. He's gone to 88 pace, which he actually already had. They didn't even change his pace. But overall, this card is looking really good. 78 defending. Once again, a defensive playstyle will increase that. Physical is good. Obviously, he's quite tall, quite strong as well. He should be very, very solid in game. I'm hoping he'll be very solid in game. Overall, as you can tell as well, I've gone for a pretty tall defense. I mean, Udogie being 6'1". I think Llorente's around 6 foot. So a very tall defense. I guess we'll find out whether that will work or not near the start of the game. So on to now the midfield. We have got 3 centre mids in this formation that we're going to use. Whether I switch formation in game is a different story. But first midfielder, we're going to go for the central one, the holding midfielder, the guy that's going to do probably more of the defensive work. And this guy actually received a downgrade, obviously for a specific reason, but I'll show you who that is now. It's going to be the man Tonali, obviously getting a -1 downgrade, but obviously didn't play most of the season because of his ban. But his card is still looking very good. He was so good at the start of last year. He could have got so many promo cards which would have made him even better throughout the whole year, but sadly he did get his ban. But this year he's back. 85 rating, looks incredible for a starting centre mid. I mean, overall, nearly every stat in the 80s bar is shooting, but we don't need shooting because he is going to be a more defensive midfielder in the formation. So I don't mind that, and he should be very solid. Like I said, really, really good at the start of last year. Sadly, he doesn't obviously have a playstyle plus. Not all these players will, but yeah, I think he'll be a very good card at the start of the game, like he was in FC 24, and hopefully he can do that defensive role very well in the midfield. On to our second midfielder. It's now time to actually get Llorente some chemistry. If you haven't noticed, he's got 0 as of right now out of the 3 he can get. So we're going to get a Spanish midfielder in here. Let me show you who we're going to go with. It's going to be Mr. Pedri, 86 rating this year, I believe. He pretty much has the same card as last year, but this time he actually has a better playstyle, in my personal opinion. Incisive pass plus in FC 24 was really good. Hopefully it will be this year as well, with lovely like through balls along the ground or over the top through balls. So Pedri is going to kind of be our playmaker in that midfield, alongside Tonali obviously holding down the fort. That's my thinking. Then our final player to complete off our midfield centre 3, it's going to be another La Liga player, actually. One of the players that I feel like a lot of people aren't really thinking about this year because he hasn't really been a standout in real life football. football, but he is going to be going into my team, hopefully. And it's the man, Frankie de Jong, obviously always very, very solid in FC. Like, he's usually a really good midfielder. He's good at box-to-box, so he's going to be kind of a box-to-box. He's going to do both a bit of attacking and defending, whereas Pedri's going to be more of the attacker. Tonali's going to be straight out defensive. He's going to kind of join them in both roles, and hopefully that should make a pretty solid midfield three, at least in my opinion. Now then, on to the attack. We're going to start off with the right wing. This guy has had an absolutely beautiful upgrade this year. He is looking so good with a really good playstyle plus for this position and card as well. And it's the man Phil Foden. So going up to 88 rating, 86 pace, 86 shooting, 85 passing, 90 dribbling. Real good stats. Like I said, technical plus as well. We don't know his base playstyles, but that playstyle plus of technical is so nice on his card. And I think he's going to be quite expensive, but also very, very good this year. I mean, he wasn't too bad last year at his 84 rating, but with that +4 overall and them stats increase, I think he could be one of the best right wingers at the start of FC 25, and I'm looking forward to trying this card out if I can get my hands on him. I don't know what his price is going to be though. Let me know in the comments how much you think Foden's going to cost, but he is looking very good this year. So now switching wings to the left wing, we're actually going back to the La Liga, and it's actually someone with, once again, a very nice upgrade, had a very good Euros, and I think could be absolutely cracked on FC 25. And that is Nico Williams. I mean, look at this card, 93 pace, shooting's a bit low, so maybe a hunter or something on him, decent passing, decent dribbling, but just for that sheer pace, but with also that rapid plus as well, he's going to absolutely blitz past fullbacks near the start of the game. He's going to be ridiculous in my opinion. Also 4-star, 5-star, so he's got that 5-star weak foot, which is really good, which means if you want to interchange your front line, he could go literally anywhere. You can even actually play this guy striker, but like I said, the shooting is a little bit low. If you chuck a hunter on it, it should definitely increase that at least, but that is not a bad looking card for the start of this game, especially in that La Liga, for that La Liga chemistry as well. And now onto the final piece of the jigsaw for my team. It's going to be the striker, and we are going all out again. Not all out actually, because this is not the top, but definitely a top tier player that's going to cost a fair few coins, and that is Rodrigo. Obviously, if you didn't know, he can actually play and start striker this year, so he's sitting at 89 pace, 81 shooting, which is once again fairly low for a striker, but 79 passing, 88 dribbling. He is looking very solid for me personally for a striker. I mean, like I said, I could switch out him and Nico Williams, but once again, both of their shooting's quite low, but at the start of the game, it definitely shouldn't matter too much. I'm still thinking of these 98 ratings we've been using, but Rodrigo up front, I think, should be an absolute machine. Sadly, he doesn't actually have a playstyle plus. Whether that changes when the game comes out, I'm not too sure, but if he gets a playstyle plus as well, this card could be even better. But that is my overall team. Pretty much everyone on full chemistry bar Saliba, but obviously adding a manager into that, that should actually fix that up as well. There we go, then that's going to wrap up this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. Please do smash the like button if you did. Like I said earlier, let me know in the comments below what you'd rate these teams out of 10, and also what do you think about my team that I want to achieve by the time the first champs comes around. Do you think I'll be able to afford it? How many coins do you think it's going to cost, and would you change anything with it? But yeah guys, anyways, thanks for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe if you did enjoy the video, and I hope to see you guys next time. Goodbye.